Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Show. And I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia. And today's topic is surviving life's new daily challenges. And I have a very special guest, and he is no other than Brian Esposito. Brian is the founder of Esposito Intellectual Enterprises LLC since 2013. As experienced value creation expert in global developments in beauty, fashion, technology, music, entertainment, charities, government transportation, and many more exciting industry developments. 20 years of hard work and development, incredible connections, contacts, relationships, and partnerships. As per Brian, time is our most precious commodity. Let's make most out of it. And please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Brian. Brian, welcome.
Hi, Mr. Siddique. How are you today?
Excellent, excellent. How about you? Thank you so much. I appreciate the time together. Let's get to it. Before we start the actual interview, we want to know your story. And here's my question. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to start into the relationship building empire?
Absolutely. Well, I started building my first company in the late 90s. So it was initially in the beauty industry, following my father's footsteps, Anthony Esposito. He was one of the first originators in building a beauty retail and distribution company known as Beauty Plus or Salon Professional Services or Esposito Beauty Supply throughout the 70s and 80s. And being with him and watching him build that company, I learned how important relationships were. And I learned that you can probably solve almost every problem with having a great conversation with somebody and always doing what you say you're going to do. I learned that early on and following and learning from him, which was the foundation of what I'm doing today. And since then, I continue to build companies. I have the honor and privilege of working with so many wonderful people around the world. And what I love to do is add value and create opportunities for everybody that's involved.
No, that is amazing. When you said do what you say, that was the music to my ears. It's very hard to find. How do you find people who actually do what they say?
Well, I think that the statistics are for every 1,000 people you find that don't do what they say, you meet one that does. And that's where you build a great relationship. And that's where you build a good foundation. Unfortunately, you have to go through a lot of problems to find the right people. And I learned that still to this day.
1 out of 1,000?
I think so. Might even be higher.
Might even be higher. Is there any magic formula to pass through those 999 quickly so that you can meet the last one, which is...
There's not. And I never blame people for how they act or what they do. And even myself, I may have made decisions that have harmed people inadvertently. Everybody's life is all relative to what's going on to them in the moment. And people's decisions or the choices that they make could change daily based on what they're currently going through. And we're going to see that now more than ever as desperate times call for desperate measures. And now you're really going to start seeing with what's going on around the world, what people are really made of and who has integrity and who doesn't.
Yeah. So today's topic is surviving life's new daily challenges. And I don't have to tell anyone who is watching this what are the challenges they are having right now. I think this is probably the time when we never even thought everything will come together at all at one time and we will be stuck at home and you are at home and I'm at home and people who are watching, they are at home, everybody at the same place. So what are the top challenges you see as an expert people are facing through? And then we're going to talk about how to overcome them.
Yeah, I would tell you for what I've went through with all the companies that I've built and all the problems that I never thought I'd ever have to face in my life, it's all led me to face what's going on right now where it doesn't faze me. I'm used to problems. I'm used to people throwing challenges or hurdles at me or having to find ways to overcome them. That's one of my strong points is learning how do you get through something, because life is not easy. And you really start to learn what you're made of how you get through that problem and how you help people through that problem. So because I've been involved in so much and we're basically industry agnostic at this point, what's going on right now, we're finding opportunities and ways to help companies, ways to help employees get back to work, ways to help create new products that would allow for a safer environment for employees or waitresses or bartenders or enterprise clients, factory workers, warehouse workers, because we're involved in so many different industries, we can start to strategize what are we sitting with that may not have had value pre-COVID that now has value and a need and importance to it that the market needs to have access to. And we're learning and seeing those opportunities daily, and we're finding ways to get them into the market and into the households of people around the world.
You're dealing with so many industries. So what are the top 3 challenges people are having right now and which you are able to solve it? We will talk about solution in a moment, but let's see top 3 challenges.
Well, the top challenge for employees is how do they get back to a workplace environment, and what does that look like? Or how do companies maintain profitability in having their employees work from home? And if their employees have to work from home, how does an employer not face a PR nightmare by having to say, hey, we can do all the work we were doing before and eliminate 50% of our workforce? That's not good for the market because that eliminates salaries going into people's pockets, and then you want those monies to go out and being spent in the economy. So one of the most important products that I'm involved with is through a company called Nodal. The co-founders, Misha Ben-Oliel and Garrett Kinsman, are dear friends. We've been working together for a long time, and we've created the world's largest wireless IoT network. And since COVID hit, we put our initiatives, our engineers and developers in creating a contact tracing app known as the Coalition Network. Now, we just announced a partnership with Avnet, a Fortune 200 public company, to offer a complete solution for enterprise clients to have a piece of hardware known as the Nodal M1 attached to the secure Nodal network where we can anonymously track infected employees. And what it does is it notifies any other device that was near the proximity of that infected employee anonymously with complete privacy focus, not knowing who that person is, that they have now become in close proximity of someone that was sick. So if you look at a Tyson food plant, for example, that may have 2,000 people and one employee is infected, but that employee may have only been nearby 3 other employees based upon their location at that facility, they no longer have to say, hey, all 2,000 people cannot come to work. Only these 5 people should stay home and be monitored. And then the company can stay in operation and they can continue to produce products. Those are the types of solutions that we want to provide to the market and get people back to work.
Oh, that is amazing. Very creative. Okay, I'm looking for 2 more. This is one.
2 more?
2 more.
I mean, other products. I mean, and you want the answers all related to what's going on during COVID-19, correct?
Yeah, COVID-19, anything. There are so many challenges that are happening right now. The world is full of challenges right now. So you give a solution to one, and I want to check out what's your kind of IQ level and what type of solutions you're looking at right now.
Sure. So another organization I'm honored to be part of is called Invisible Disabilities Association. The CEO and founder, Wade Cornell, is a dear friend. And what they've built in that organization that's over 20 years old is the ability to offer solutions, services, and support to people with invisible disabilities. So if someone may have a disability, but they're not in a wheelchair or they don't have a physical ailment that you can identify, doesn't mean that they're not disabled. And what's going on today, I believe the entire world has a invisible disability. I think everybody now is waking up in the morning in fear, in anxiety, and uncertainty that's not allowing them to even, A, want to get through the day, or B, know how to get through the day. So we believe that is a tremendous solution of support, services, education to help people get back to what the new norm looks like and give them the ability to say, hey, listen, we're going to be okay. We're going to get through this. There's been plenty of moments in history where thousands and millions of people were either infected or died of diseases that we no longer hear about, we no longer see about. But the difference with today and back then was you didn't have immediate access to information, and you also didn't have the idea of trying to figure out what is real and what is not. So by giving people the ability to support the information that they're giving them resources to know how to handle that information is going to allow them to cope, hopefully be a little bit better throughout the day, and give them the idea and the comfort that this too shall pass, and that we're going to get through this, and we're going to be stronger and better than ever, like we've always done as humanity continues to go forward.
One more.
The third problem we're facing, obviously, is the economic uncertainties. I don't think I don't deal in the stock market anymore. I don't look at that world as a reality. I think there's a major decoupling in what's going on right now with the markets and what reality is on the streets. I think people need to stop looking at what that information and what those values are, because you can't watch the stock market go up and down daily and watch your 401k go up or go down or disappear, wondering where your retirement funds are going to be next year, tomorrow, 10 years from now. I've learned through many mistakes a long time ago is that the best investment you can make is in yourself. You know what you can do, you know what you're capable of. And if you want to throw money out at something wildly, go put some money on red or black on a roulette table, because there's no difference when you're investing in a company that you're not part of, that you have to wait a quarter to find out what the results were. Or if you want to gamble, go bet a sports game. Go play on DraftKings or Fandango, FanDuel, which just went public. So you can buy that stock and bet on a game. But I believe people should invest in themselves. And I think now is the most crucial time for everybody to take a step back. I love the fact that people are home with their families. I hope this stays. I hope people start to realize what's important, what true values and morals and what the idea of family and community looks like. And what I really hope happens is, as the world starts to recover from this, whenever that moment is, the price of living comes down to a more realistic number that people can enjoy life. They can buy things. They can get a nice home. They can go on a nice vacation, because the way it was, unless you had a good job or a decent amount of savings, you really couldn't enjoy the finer things in life. And I think there was a giant gap between enjoying life and being able to actually enjoy life. And I'm hoping things come down to reality where everybody can have a chance to enjoy some pleasure, because life is short and it's very important to make sure you make the best of it.
Wonderful. Definitely. Life is short. Definitely. No doubt about that one. So, Brian, you are on this interview because of Shehzad Al Hassan. He recommended me to actually get us to talk to each other. So what would you recommend the top 3 opportunities right now in this all over the world, as you being a global person?
Top 3 opportunities right now? Obviously, yeah. We're never not going to be afraid of an infectious disease ever again. We're everybody that has had access to the media, a newspaper, or someone in their ear daily saying that the world is coming to an end and we're all going to die. I think the most important thing is what allows people to get back into the world. You're going to see major opportunities in face masks. I think you're going to see some great innovation on what those masks look like, how they could be cool and stylish and not be intrusive and allow people to still connect with one another. You're going to see tremendous opportunities in the sanitizer market. You've seen some major companies convert their apparel and their filling and manufacturing plants over to creating masks and creating sanitizers. So I don't think those opportunities are going to disappear. I think this is the new norm. I do think that healthcare always scares me and biotech always scares me, because you can't rush those things. You need to have longevity in testing. You need to have an understanding of what the side effects are, something 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years from now. So rushing a product to market, you may be creating a bigger problem than there is, based upon what that development or that medicine or treatment that they say is now approved. We have no idea what the long-term negative effects of that are. So I'm obviously a believer in vaccines. We don't see things like we used to see, such as smallpox or polio. There's tremendous importance to them. We live longer. We try to live healthier lives. But if you don't do it correctly, I fear you may have a really big problem ahead of you. Other opportunities I think you're going to see. I love to see new financing vehicles put in place for either housing or the rental market, where people can have, obviously they're going to need a place to live and they're going to need some support behind them. And I've seen a lot of great management companies come together and offer some relief to their tenants. So I think there should be some tremendous new packages, or maybe they're banking packages or some sort of special financing packages to keep people in their homes or keep people in their apartments. And you're going to see a tremendous spike in private aviation. The wealthy of the world are I don't think you're ever going to see a wealthy person feel comfortable enough getting on a commuter airline or a commercial airline ever again. So I think you're going to see a tremendous spike in jet charter services and private aviation services.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So which part of the world you are more focusing on in terms of joint ventures and collaborations, and which part of the world is making you the quote unquote best for your bucks?
We work all over the world. Actually, every market we find value in. I believe there's a tremendous opportunity in Latin America and Mexico. I've believed this for a long time. I think that's the next big economic boom in real estate development, new technologies that'll be rolling out of there, educational services. I think Latin America is poised and ready for the growth spur that it deserves. And I'm excited to see what comes out of the region and the great services and new products and real estate development products that come out of that part of the world.
Okay, let me check with quiz you on this one because you said you work all over the world. I'm originally from Pakistan. Have you done anything in Pakistan? If not, then when? If not now, then ever?
I have. We have a wonderful JV partner out of the Middle East. His family were very prominent leaders in Pakistan. It's a wonderful country. I understand a lot of what they've been through, what they've gone through, how far you guys have come. There's amazing technologies coming out of there as well. Great companies, great services, great banking and lending programs throughout the region. I think you're going to see a great tech hub spawned out of Pakistan, and you're going to see a lot of job creations based around technologies throughout that country as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. If there's anything you want to expand in Pakistan, I will be happy to extend you the help any way I can. So you are experienced all over the world, and you have done so much, and you're still young. So let me ask you a kind of grilling question. What's the most professional failure you had in your life? What did you learn from it, and how did you recover from that?
The single most professional failure, let it be known I fail daily still. It continues. Life is a giant learning process. I think the single most failure I had was when I was building the beauty company. I fell in love with the idea that it was my baby, and I didn't understand when opportunities came that I should have sold it or correctly partnered it with a bigger entity. I should have went with my gut and made that decision. I now know it's best to work with people, which I love to do. Some of my biggest competitors on paper are my best friends. We work together, we create markets together, and we understand how we all can win together. So I never look at a competitor as evil. I never look at a competitor as a problem. I actually always go to befriend them so we can find ways to work together. And now more than ever, you need to work with everybody you possibly can to keep your doors open and your lights on and find ways to unlock new value. And it's always great for people in the same market or the same industry to collaborate, share resources, and create value together.
Yeah, the best example is the COVID-19 vaccine. The whole world is kind of combining their mental pool, research, and everything together to come up with a solution as soon as possible. And that's everybody looking at everybody else, and they're collaborating on every level possible. So that's a great lesson. Thank you so much. Is there anything I didn't get around to it you wanted to share?
Oh, you got me. So whatever else you can think about, it's a pleasure and honor to speak with you.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing. Your content and your efforts are amazing. It's an honor to be here, and I appreciate your time.
So here is the question I want to ask you before we wrap up. What would you say to your best friend about a growth hacking show that where you are right now, when I'm not there?
What would you say to your best friend?
About this show to your friends when I'm not there?
About your show?
Yeah.
I would say you got to watch it. It's the best thing ever. Do you like American Idol? Then you would love the growth hacking show. It's a must watch. Make some popcorn and sit down and enjoy it.
Thank you, Brian. Brian, as we are about to wrap up, what would you say as a final word?
Well, anybody that's watching, today live or in the future, keep your head up there. You're going to be fine. You're going to get through this. Unfortunately, everything does happen for a reason. Hopefully, when we look back and see what we've all gone through and what this is happening to the world and the global economies and your households and your families and coworkers, we hopefully could say, hey, listen, this was crucial because we did this. This was crucial to our humanity because now we have that. And you can never understand what's happening when you're in the storm. But when you look back and you realize, hey, hopefully we all came together, we rebuilt, we created new technologies, new medicines or vaccines that are very effective, and we continue to survive. We've come a long way. We've dealt with heartache and destruction and tragedy since day one. I don't think it'll ever end. There'll be a future tragedy we have to figure out and get through together. But it's how we work together that allows us to overcome anything.
Yeah, thank you, Brian, for sharing your wisdom with us today. On the behalf of Growth Hacking Show and our entire community, we really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Wishing you good luck, good sales. I do a podcast again with another amazing guest. Until then, all best.